Power up your business and personal strategy with SVA. Biz tips, quick info to benefit your business. Insights showing technology as a business strategy. And Money Minutes, 60-second financial tips. Email powermeup@sva.com.
So the professional advice I'd have for my 21-year-old self is probably the same advice that I would give my 33-year-old self, and the same advice I probably heard every day from my parents growing up, which is develop some patience. I remember Mom and Dad always telling me, world's never going to move fast enough for you, Rob. It took me a while to figure out they were right, but I do need to slow down and just enjoy life.
Well, if I could go back and tell myself something, it would be to talk to more professionals and ask them what they went through to get there, so that it probably would have saved me a little bit of time and money in college.
Be flexible and be prepared to lead. Fairly early in my career in the Air Force, I was asked to lead a group. Be ready for that and be flexible, because you go through and expect to be led, and when it's you that's called to lead, it's a challenge.
So you can plan all that you want, but it's never going to work out exactly how you thought. I started off as a special ed teacher and ended up into something totally different that I never had expected. You truly cannot plan.
Well, I would love to be a foundation director and a director of a few different foundations, so that I would never have to reject any good cause. Just to be able to give away money all the time and get paid for it, that would be really fantastic.
So I have the best dream job in the world, I have to share. I want to run my own summer camp where we have all these animals, pigs and chickens and goats and llamas. I'm going to have a farm, and children are going to play there all day long.
So my dream job, probably the first thing that comes to mind is a supermodel. It seems like that's probably not in the books for me, so at some point in my career I think I'd really enjoy to own a successful restaurant and spend my time there.
Being an investment banker, I think running a firm that buys and sells companies, buys and sells businesses would be, a job that requires skills in terms of law and business, and being able to evaluate things that are very difficult to evaluate. I think it would be fun and challenging and exciting and always changing.
Well, back in grade school, I learned this song called the 50 Nifty United States, and over time it just kind of evolved into being able to say them in 30 seconds. Does anyone have a timer?
I don't think a lot of people know that I'm a good hockey player. I think the pinnacle was I was the captain of my state championship high school team when I was a senior. I'm continually impressed with the lessons I've learned through hockey, hard work, perseverance, teamwork, leadership. It's something that I continue to use in my day-to-day operations.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois.
So I am really into rescuing very strange animals. It started off in college, where I was in entomology class and I had to dissect a cockroach, and I couldn't do it. So I took him in a jar on the bus and came home with him, and he was my pet. It was Morty Stephanopoulos, and it was a hissing cockroach, and he lived with us for 3 years.
Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina.
I'd say my lesser known talent is I know, I guess, presidential history, and if you were to name a year, I could tell you who the president was at that time.
1938.
1938, that would be Franklin Delano Roosevelt. 1822, that would have been Monroe. 1798, that's a good one. John Adams, but in 1798, second president. His first year was 1797. So.
Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Vermont, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming. Oh, oh great. Okay.